us individual responsibility, and that means if you want to be stupid and not put a seatbelt on and you get in a car wreck, then that's on you. And and then come.
Yeah, absolutely.
To the point that you want to go and pull a seat behind the wheel of the car and you get in a car wreck, or you want to go and run around naked in a town. I mean, there are crazy things that people will associate with marijuana just to try to keep it illegal, and it's like, well, we're going to stomp all over our rights just for the sake of keeping a plant that has done more good than bad to us illegal.
Yeah, there's a good point on there too. Our next topic we want to talk about the war on terror. Now, I do understand that this war on terror has started before 9/11. Am I correct?
Various events took place or were going to before 9/11. It's been documented that President Bush, Bush Jr., I guess you could say, he had documentation on his death. It's all basically tied in. The problem in Afghanistan is tied into drugs. They make 90% of the world's heroin, and the poppy growing and the poppy fields and the drug factories were all shut down because of the Taliban out there in the late 90s. And once that happened, talks began to arise about invading Afghanistan to bring them back up. Nowadays, the people who were running the factories are back in business. The business is back up itself, and we're fighting the Taliban, basically the people who block the drugs from even really being distributed.
Yeah. I see that. That's a good point there. And speaking of the Taliban and everything, current events with the assassination or the capture and kill, I should say, of Osama bin Laden. Now, people are telling me, because people come up to me a lot and they ask me questions saying, what do I think? Do I think that Osama bin Laden's really dead? And I've been asked that, what do I believe in? And I get stuck there because I really don't know what I believe now on this one. I really don't know what to say to them when it comes to this. When they ask me, Roman, do you think that bin Laden's dead, or what do you think? And I say, well, I really don't know. I don't know who to trust on this one. It's a hard question because they won't give us pictures, they won't give us any video, and they say if they do, it'll endanger the Navy SEALs who carried out the mission and the operation. But at the same time, I think that people have a right to see the photographs. Just one photograph would be enough, or a couple of them would be good enough. And they have some fake pictures out there already, and people believe that. But at least give us some sort of solid proof and to believe this. Do you believe that he's dead, or what's your take on that?
I unfortunately deals a great job in capturing and killing whoever it is they were commanded to kill. But I personally look at it this way, that if it was Osama bin Laden, then it's the duty of our government to release the information to the public, because it is our job. It is not up to the government to say, oh, okay, this is too graphic, we can't show this, or this is too much of an issue that we'll create controversy if we show it. No, our taxes paid for the operation that was pushed forward that made this happen. So then, if I can pay for the operation to happen and the documentation prior to it, then I can also have the right to see, the aftermath, what happened, who we got, and who we killed. Then I'll bring it up on this, from this angle, prior to us even supposedly, killing Osama bin Laden, we never put the information that we had. We never tried him for it, and charged him with the crime, and yet here we are getting ready to basically, here we were prior to his death, getting ready to basically go and capture and kill him, and that'd be the end of it. But it's like, why would you, even if he is dead? I mean, and optimistically, I could say he's already died. Just probably not from this event. But that being said, why wasn't he tried? That's the question I'm asking.
Yeah. he would have been wouldn't he have been tried for war crimes?
Well, he had a resume already, if I'm correct, according to the FBI's investigation list when he was in the top 10 most wanted. He had a resume already for past crimes, out of America. We could have got him for those crimes, and we should have. But, when we start talking about 9/11, didn't charge him for anything. We simply, would have had no idea who he was had we not linked him to 9/11.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. 9/11 is another turning point where he became like an icon of it. Like a symbol, I would suppose, like the enemy who started it all. And it's just that it's odd that when you're watching this, something didn't feel right when I was watching the news. Though when I was watching it, Osama bin Laden has been killed because they didn't show any pictures at all. And I like that you said how he could have been tried before for previous crimes, and they could have got him by then, and he could have gotten by trial and everything, but they didn't. But moving past that and into the 9/11 scene here, big speculations going around here. I interviewed Robert Warnick from his little 9/11 channel. He like over 2 million views, whatever. He came on my channel. We made a podcast interview, and I asked him his thoughts and opinions and his ideology, and he explained to me his facts supporting 9/11 was an inside job, and I just sat there and I listened. And I respected his opinion, and I listened to what he had to say. It was pretty good. And he was telling me how we don't know what goes through a criminal's mind. So people who ask what their intentions or motives were, it's just probably a mute question. And also how people, he gave supporting evidence about dust residue from explosives were found in the buildings and all this pretty moving information. What is your take on 9/11, and what do you perceive of it as an inside job or just blankly another terrorist attack committed by the Taliban?
Well, I honestly don't know. I want to be able to make a generalization and start pointing fingers, but I don't know enough. I read the 9/11 report. I saw Loose Change. I saw the Zeitgeist films that talked about everything we weren't asking, we weren't being told as a country, as a public. And I think about it. It really stands out to me that 2 planes can knock down 3 buildings, and yet our government is trying to find a logical reason behind how that can happen when this event that took place was the first time ever in history that something like this could have ever happened. And I try to be a little more open about the questions towards the people who are supposed to be defending this country. Where were they at? It's interesting. No planes were in the air to intercept these four commercial airliners. No one was fired, after this occurred, because this was a huge failure of our air defense system. Yet no one was fired. About 4 people were promoted. So I look at it as they're not telling us something.
Yeah.
And I would like to have my questions answered before I come to a general conclusion.
Yeah. And that's what I thought too. I like what you said, knocking down 3 buildings with 2 planes. World Trade Center 7 mysteriously collapsed because of fires on 2 floors, and that's just something that I'm not going to believe at all. And then there's another thing released by the, I think FEMA, saying that they pulled the building, which means it was a controlled detonation. Right there just gives you a big hint that, okay, they already planned explosives prior, and usually to put demolition inside a building usually takes weeks, and you need permit and planning and everything,
Right.
Well, that's all the time we have today. Looks like we reached our time limit. Thank you very much, Rob, for being on the show.
Thank you. You can check out all my videos at youtube.com/xkingkong62x. That's youtube.com/xkingkong62x.
I will put a link for you on the description comments and in the video as well. And please check him out. He needs some viewers, and just check out his videos. Pretty cool videos, and he has good points there. Anyways, again, thank you so much for being on the show, and hope you could join us sometime, another time.
All right, I look forward to it.
All right, thank you.